Welcome back to the channel, Sinister My News. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about optics. So the pistol that I have in my hand is the FN 509. This pistol is the newest pistol that I have. And what I want to talk about tonight is optics. So if you're going to run an optic on your pistol, which I highly recommend doing because they do make shooting and accuracy a lot better. But the one thing I want to tell you guys is don't go out and spend $350 for your first optic. I would recommend to buy a cheaper optic, which is what I did here. This is a Grace optic. I don't even know what brand this is, to be honest. But I did buy this cheaper optic just to make sure that I actually like having it. And so now that I do know that I enjoy having it, I'm more willing to go out and spend the extra money to get a really good optic for my pistol. But this one doesn't look too bad. I really do like the way that the dot looks in the pistol, and it matches the frame of the gun and the color and everything. So it does look really nice on my pistol. But with that being said, just be mindful when you do buy your first optic, because you might not even like running the red dots and the green dots. You might actually like the iron sights more than the actual red dot emitter, because sometimes when you are shooting and you have to look around and bring that red dot back on target, it does get a little tricky. But once you figure out where the gun tracks and how to actually bring your sights back on target, it does make it a whole lot easier. But just getting to that point does take some time to actually be able to pick up your dot off of the front of your sights. So that's the one thing I wanted to talk about with you guys tonight, is just buy a cheaper optic. Nobody's going to be mad at you if you go on Amazon and buy a $50 optic, just to make sure that you actually do having it on your gun. And then after you buy the $50 optic, then you can be like, oh, I wouldn't mind spending $250 or $300 on an actual good optic from one of the reputable brands that make optics. So at this point, now that I have run this optic on this gun, I would like to buy a better one, but I don't know if I can find one to actually match the frame of my gun like this one does. So I might actually end up keeping this one on this pistol just because it does look really good with the frame and the color of the gun, because it matches so well. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Just make sure that you do some research before you buy your first optic. Make sure that the one that you are getting is going to be the one that you don't mind running on your guns. And also you have to make sure that you buy the right specific optic for your gun, because they have RMR footprints, RMSC footprints, SRO footprints. There's so many different options as far as optics for your pistols. And then they also have direct mount optics where you don't even have to have an optic plate, which is a whole nother thing that I can get into and talking about, is having an optic plate and making sure that you have the right optic plate for your optic. There's a lot that goes into it to just saying, oh, let me just buy this optic and put it on my gun. It's not that simple. That's pretty much all I got for you guys tonight, is just to make sure that if you are going to get an optic, make sure you do some research and you don't have to buy the most expensive one for your first one. This is the FN 509 and this is the optic that I have on it. Well, other than that, I appreciate y'all and I'll see you on the next one.